All right, everybody. We are here for session 37, maybe, of Descent into Fernia. Who would like to give the recap?
Last time, it's been a few weeks, but last time we was the last session the one where we got to the Wandering Emporium?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were leaving the area with the witch, Feanor, where she gave us she gave us a ring that we can bring back the Shadow of Death. But she mentioned something about going to the Wandering Emporium, which is this creature that we've ran across before. That's just walking around. It's very large, like Titan-sized, or like Colossus-sized. So on our way, Solomon noticed some rumbling as we were driving, and Ewan and Vegnog didn't notice, but Vegnog could see large, like, rock formations rising and falling from the ground, and they were like behind us and like coming closer. So we were going faster than the car was. We found out after it basically came upon us that it was a pod of bullets that were breaching the ground, like dolphins. Ewan did like a 360 or a 180 rather, to turn around to face them, and they ended up battering our vehicle pretty badly. Solomon role played being concussed and started speaking gibberish. He cast Lesser Restoration on himself. And then he got that helped. We continued driving, and for the rest of the night, and we parked for the night because the machine, now that like the bullets have knocked a few things loose, was very loud. The war machine. So it was too loud to drive and get a full rest in. So in the morning, we heard thumping in the distance, and noticed that we were in a dust cloud, and we think we were able to ascertain it was the creature that was causing it. So we went in its general direction, and ended up climbing onto its back. I think we ditched the car because we couldn't drive up it. Unfortunately, it didn't come with a highway.
No, it just sort of disappeared, and then we were suddenly in the village or whatever.
Right. It's not clear that we drove up anything.
This was like a lush. It was like I think it was fairly lush green. I could be misremembering the details of like what the village looked like.
I think you're confusing. I think you're confusing it with Feanor's domain. The landscape didn't really change much except for the appearance of all of these very colorful tents, and like it looked like a very thriving like bazaar or merchant square.
Yeah, in my head, it's like a carnival. There are probably rides somewhere in the background.
The Tower of Terror is just some giant demon flogging you. But this Wandering Emporium is run by a Master Hawkins, who is a very gregarious fellow, and offered, they said you could buy anything there. Lots of shops, you can do whatever you want. And asterisk in the Wandering Emporium. And that's where we left off.
And he did say that there were people here who could fix the vehicle.
Right. And hopefully, maybe give us some weapons for that damn thing too.
Yeah, so Master Hawkins would have basically communicated to you guys that the Wandering Emporium is the only place in all of Fernia where all of your needs could be met. And he's also very proud of having cultivated talent to help them grow their thriving businesses under his sort of leadership. And so if he also is very proud of his the establishment that is his primary focus, which is the 7 Golden Seals Day Spa, where all of your earthly pleasures could be purchased.
And that's when Solomon notices that his mother is gone. Mother, who has our soul coins?
Yeah, so we accept all kinds of currency here. We prefer soul coins, but we'll trade in anything. We also barter. I'm sure you'll find shops that are willing to barter. So yeah, whatever you guys need, we got it.
What do people trade besides soul coins in this land?
Oh, all kinds of things. I mean, food and water is a big one. Could go a long way with some fresh food and water, and then or exotic pets. There's also the vehicles, natural resources, or we deal in all kinds of things. If you could think of it, you can name it. We'll deal in it.
And he says exotic pets. I look at Project Israel.
Is he the exotic pet, or
He was
yeah.
Dr. Sheev's exotic pet once upon a time.
Yeah. You might not like that anymore.
Actually, yeah, Dr. Sheev, if he had been here, he might be a millionaire in this place for all of the exotic creatures he had.
Right.
Oh, you guys must be thirsty. Here, have some sodies. And then he pulls out from his bag a never-ending supply of blue metal cans full of brown fizzy liquid that is very sweet and bubbling.
It is
Only it were in a red can, but this will do.
Yeah, my son is like that. He only likes the red can stuff. By the way, did I tell you about my boys? Oh, I love my boys. They're so successful and they're doing such good things. But yeah, we can talk more about that later. So what do you guys need?
We need well, Solomon could use professional healer. He took nasty hit to head.
Oh, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I've taken a few knocks to the head myself. Half my face is actually had to be reconstructed. It's pretty good, huh? Looks pretty good.
I couldn't even tell.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I roll perception or medicine?
Oh, fuck. All right.
So yeah, Solomon, as he says that, you do actually notice that one eye is only slightly lower than the other, and like the skin around it seems like it's not quite as the wrinkles just kind of look different. So there is, and then you can see a slight scar along right here, but it's fairly subtle, and so just him mentioning it makes you aware of it.
I don't see shit. I think what we need most is a place of rest.
Oh yeah, I got that. You could go rest at my place, the 7 golden seals.
Is that going to cost us?
Yeah, it'll cost you. I mean, you know, we got to make a living here too, but you won't be sorry. We got so many excellent things for you to all experience, and since you guys are new from around here, I can tell you guys kind of got that look about you. I'll give you a discount, just 1 soul coin for all of yous.
You hear this guy? You won't be sorry. Been sorry since we fucking got here.
Yeah, Fernia is kind of a rough place. You know, you gotta kind of roll with the punches, and you need to really get be prepared for this place. It's kind of a meat grinder.
Well, we should definitely make sure that the vehicle is being worked on before we rest for the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need repairs to your vehicle? You'll go on to go see Tallow. She's our resident mechanic, and she's awesome.
Repairs and we need upgrades. We must break into Flamekeep to save my contract and someone there. Well, we must get to Flamekeep, and it is currently surrounded by malevolent forces. So our vehicle needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, that Flamekeep place sounds like it's a bit rough too. I never heard about it, but if you need anything with your vehicle, Tallow's the broad to see.
So how do you conscript large walking mammal to allow you to construct this on its back?
What are you talking about? Conscript, like, oh, you mean you mean Bobby Socks?
Large creature named the Bobby Socks.
Yeah, Bobby Socks. I found him as a young little kitten, and he kind of grew up a lot quicker than I expected, and it was a lot to try and feed him, but you know, we figured out ways of making it work, and you know, we got this arrangement now. So
Sure, we should look into buying one of these creatures, one of the baby ones.
oh, good luck. I haven't been able to find another one.
Maybe, do you think Bobby Socks so large that it could just penetrate Flamekeep?
I don't know what Flamekeep is, so I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe
Hey.
Maybe Bobby Socks can wander in that general direction.
Um. Well, hey, let's sit down and talk about it a bit over some sodies, and we'll try and figure out what we can do to help you.
Sounds good.
So, which way to the repair broad?
So Master Hawkins leads you through the bazaar, and you find see a whole bunch of interesting creatures. You see like a large turtle and what looks like a large cat person, as well as some other creatures and humanoids, all kind of either milling about different shops or trying to haggle over prices and things like that, and eventually brings you over to a very large metal structure with what appears to be large doors that are open at the moment, and you see a number of vehicles within this garage, and these other creatures kind of flitting all about the vehicles with sparks flying from them, and that's when you notice that they're creatures that are made of like fire or magma, and then you hear Master Hawkins cry out, "Hey, Tallow, we got some people that want to talk to you about your cars." And then from beneath one of the vehicles, on one of those wheeled kind of what are they, like bodyboard type things, you see a large redheaded woman in a mask come out, and she stands up, and she's a very large woman. She's about maybe 6 feet tall, 6'2", and looks to be just made of solid muscle. Let me see, where is she? There she is. So, and then let me. Yeah, so this is Tallow. She raises the mask off of herself and greets Master Hawkins with a polite bow, and then turns to the rest of you and says, "So which one of you needs vehicle?"
You're muted, Kirk.
At the moment, we need repair services for our vehicle, and we wish to inquire about what sorts of weaponry can be installed on it.
Repairs and upgrades. Yeah, we can accommodate you. Where is your vehicle?
I will describe wherever we left it.
The edge of town. We don't want to use up more of these coins than we needed to.
Very well. I will bring a tow cart. And then she yells some things in another language, and it gets these these magvins all begin like going to a different thing, and they push out this machine, and then they start riding it towards your vehicle. Within a few minutes, it has dragged your vehicle into the shop, and she kind of surveys it and says, it looks like quite a bit of things on the outside. And
There was a
whole
missing a
bullet
number
swarm.
of weapons.
It never had the weapons, at least not since we had it. But there was a bullet storm, and it got turned over on its side, and many mishaps before we got here.
We repaired what we could. We're gonna have to pay for that tow.
No, it is complimentary. So, it looks like for basic services, with some of the damage. And then she kind of takes a glance under and she says, oh, yes, there is damage to the axle. Has it been making loud noises while you drive?
It's
Yes.
very loud. We cannot sleep. Well, they cannot sleep. I
Yes.
sleep just fine.
Yes, I could see that. So that would be probably about half a soul coin's worth in repairs. Outside of repairs, you say you need additional weapons or upgrades.
We need to break into Flamekeep. Flamekeep
Yeah.
heavily surrounded.
We need a wall buster.
I do not know this Flamekeep, but if you are needing heavy firepower, I have some weapons that may be available. Alternatively, we could fix the weapons that are here. It looks like the chomper was recently repaired. It is manageable. Or serviceable. It should not need any further attention, but the wrecking ball needs to be replaced, obviously. So that can be done for the other half of the soul coin. Additionally, it is to integrate additional weapons. There is a charge for that. But first, let's talk about what kind of weapons you're looking for. Basic weapons for this style of vehicle are usually in the form of harpoon throwers. Fairly accurate, limited range, some additional capacity to perhaps drag other vehicles or use them to pierce walls and then pull them out. Each harpoon thrower would require 1 soul coin. Additionally, we have some other weapons that you may be interested in. We have acid bile sprayers, which can, as the name says, they spray a large area with acid, very strong. Will melt your face off in seconds. Each of those is 2 soul coins. We also have a Behirfen, which is a weapon that shoots lightning. That is also 2 soul coins. These ones are very difficult to come by. I am quite proud to have a stockpile of them. Infernal Screamers. Those are semi-living, semi-not-living creatures that you attach to the vehicle, and at your command, they scream. The screaming can cause deep headaches in those that listen to it. So They are able to be targeted to specific individuals. You point them and shoot them similar to gun, but instead of bullet, it is sonic. Do any of those seem of interest?
We would like big
Screamers.
weapons.
Tell me more about a weapon that shoots lightning. Is it shoot a bolt of lightning or a bolt that is a lightning bolt?
Yeah, so it is Behir. So it is the electrolyte organ of a Behir, and you are able to channel electricity through it, much like a Behir would when it is alive. So it shoots a bolt of lightning, will fry everything in its path.
Yes, but how big is it? The bigger, the better.
Well, you have several weapon slots on this vehicle. Each one of the weapons that I mentioned would take up one of those slots.
And we will take them.
Okay.
How much will it cost?
Well, each harpoon thrower is 1 soul coin. Acid thrayers and Behir fangs are 2 soul coins. The infernal screamers are 3 soul coins.
Ewan, pay the woman.
Repairing the wrecking ball is a half a soul coin. And then additionally, in order to attach these weapons to integrate them into the vehicle, that's another 1 to 2 soul coins, depending on labor charges. And then also that axle needs to be addressed for an additional half a soul coin. So, let's see. Let's bring up your guys's.
It is at least 3 soul coins.
Yeah, it's certainly something there.
So
We had 14 soul coins as of 2 sessions ago.
So you guys have the chomper, the wrecking ball, and 2 harpoon flingers, or well, 2 stations for harpoon flingers. So the wrecking ball could be replaced with some other weapon if you guys wanted to, and then you have spots for 2 additional weapons. So she also kind of looks at your vehicle and says, we also have some additional upgrades that may be worth considering. We have, for the armor of your vehicle, we have Risian Armor. It is specially mined iron from another plane known as Risia, elemental plane of cold and ice. Sounds terrible, but despite the heat, Risian armor always maintains some form of ice or cold within it. It can reinforce the strength of the armor of your vehicle. Also, may help with making it a little bit more comfortable inside. The heat in Fernia is said to be very difficult for people who are not, well, accustomed to it, such as me. Additionally, we have necrotizing smoke screens and a teleporter.
There's a lot going on here. If the teleporter does what?
Well,
It teleports.
It's movie.
What
with
exactly?
Jason Statham.
it can act as an emergency escape option. Basically, you can activate it and you can teleport. Its range is a bit limited. It is about 300 feet. If it is not, if you cannot clearly see the area or path to your destination, there is chance for some mishap, but about 300 feet, it can teleport you and the vehicle and everything within the vehicle. Sometimes even depending on weights and other factors can teleport things that are attached to the vehicle. After use does require recharge of 24 hours before it can be used again.
That sounds far too complicated to use. What would the cost of that be?
That is 5 soul coins. It is pricey, but some value it.
The ability to teleport right inside their walls would be handy.
Can we afford that? It could all be a moo point.
Yeah, so let me tell you the minimum price of what we're working with if you just want basic repairs. If you just want basic repairs, would be 1 soul coin to do basic repairs and reattach the wrecking ball. If you wanted something a bit more, you have space for 3 weapons on this thing. So harpoon throwers, 1 soul coin. Acid boil sprayers and the here thing, each of those 2 coins. Infernal screamer, 3 coins. If you want the Risian Armor, that is expensive and also time would require an amount of time to put it all attach it to your vehicle. That would be 7 soul coins. Teleporter, 5 soul coins. So obviously more repairs and more extensive modifications would be more pricey, but as somebody has said, it sounds like you are limited in your soul coin.
We have a
Sure.
budget.
Is there a way to get more of them around here?
Perhaps. What do you have to trade?
Would you be interested in Find Wrecking Ball as trading for some other for perhaps Bile Sprayer? Bile Sprayer sounds way more useful than Wrecking Ball.
I mean, the wrecking ball could literally wreck its way through a wall, which we might have to do. Just an idea.
Your friend raises a good point. If it is a wall breaker that you need, it is kind of in the name, Wrecking Ball.
Plus, a
Yes.
wrecking ball is badass.
Every time I hear Wrecking Ball, I just think of like us playing like blasting Miley Cyrus. Baby, I'm a wrecking ball.
So basically, if you want to fix the wrecking ball and the vehicle, that's 1 soul coin. If you want to stick with basic weapons and do harpoon throwers, that would be an additional 2 soul coins plus 1 soul coin for attaching the weapons. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 4.
I would just point out that there is no chance that Solomon could possibly have followed even a third of what she said. So he will be of no help. It was like prices and what things do, and no.
So let's fix Wrecking Ball, because Ewan is right. We'll need to break some walls and some bones. I like this this organ of Behir, this lightning shooter.
Yes, very popular choice. So that would would you want mix harpoon thrower and Behir Fang, 2 Behir Fangs? Are you interested in the Infernal Screamer? Perhaps an acid bile sprayer. If you are going to be wrecking walls, acid sprayer may be valuable. Could weaken structure a bit.
Could also melt the demons in front.
Most people use it for that.
Yeah, I imagine they would.
I like bile sprayer.
It is what I was leaning towards myself.
So 2 bile sprayers, 1 bile sprayer and 1 Behir Fang.
1 bile sprayer and 1 Behir. We should have versatility.
Well, how do these demonic creatures hold up to these elements? Any idea?
They're not going to like that ball sprainer.
Well, yes, it is. It's not fun to have on your skin, even for creatures that are generally not affected by it. It's still uncomfortable, but there are not many things that I am aware of here that in Fernia that would be completely immune to such a weapon.
Yeah.
So
I am sold on bile sprayer.
repair to wrecking ball and vehicle, acid sprayer and Behir Fang, and then attaching the weapons. Total comes out to 7 soul coins.
Can we reduce the cost if I help put it together?
No. This is my garage. I must have the ability to guarantee quality of work. I can't have you screw up a repair, come back and say, hey, it's no good. I need a refund. Tallow does not give refunds.
I
She
mean,
does have a point.
we did these field repairs ourselves
I
With
can
no-
tell.
with no actual tools to fucking do it.
It shows.
We should let her.
I feel like it shows some talent.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
We should let Tallow take care of this. We can search other rest of Emporium.
The guy, the guy who greeted us, did he leave or has he just been standing back watching?
He didn't leave, but he is like talking people's ears off out in the street. In particular, he's talking about something that he calls a Smarty Marty card, which he posits as the ability to be able to magically heal people if used in just the right way. It's a mix of like theoretical magical talk as well as like just complete unhinged understanding of how things work.
Sure.
So you would use your masculine wiles to lower the price. Woo her.
I guess it's worth a shot. Can we reduce the cost if I buy a drink later?
Sorry.
Enough said. Enough said.
I don't know what I may have said to make you think that I have interest, but you are not my type.
I start looking around for Alina then.
For who?
What's her name? Is
Alyssa?
Alyssa.
Yeah, Alyssa.
Oh yeah, Alyssa would be right up Talos' alley.
She's never around when I need her.
Like to lift anything strong. Anything heavy.
The rumble would move mountains. So, if we were start these repairs immediately, could be done by the end of the day.
This is very good. We will return later and check progress.
Were you interested in the teleporter or the Risian armor? You did not seem particularly interested in the necrotizing smoke screen.
I don't even know what that is. So armor sounds good. What was the cost of that?
Now armor is 7
Lot.
soul coins.
A lot and a lot of time.
Teleporter 5 soul coins.
I would love more, but we need soul coins to drive for fuel. Unless we come up with a way to earn more, or perhaps find alternate source of fuel. We need to maintain some soul coins.
I mean, are there any tasks that you need help with that a group of hardy adventurers such as ourselves could perform while the work is being done?
Yeah. Master Hawkins treats me very well. My business is flourishing. Not much that is needed, which I cannot get myself. Perhaps you would want to talk to Lulu.
Lulu?
Huh. Lulu. Lulu is interested in pharmaceuticals.
Oh, that's probably where my mother is then.
At the moment, she is studying the effects of demon ichor. It is substance that can be harvested from the bodies of dead fiends. It seems to have some chemical and properties and interactions with living flesh. She may be willing to provide soul coins in exchange for demon ichor.
Lucky us.
But where can we find Lulu then?
Yeah.
Lulu is at the other end of the bazaar, slightly isolated just because some of the things that she does has tendency to explode.
Is she dangerous?
Lulu is not dangerous. The things that Lulu does, those are dangerous.
She sounds like a lovely woman.
I wouldn't call her a woman to her face.
So we will go meet Lulu then. How long before you think of the repairs and these new additions will be ready?
If all goes quickly, could be by end of day. If things get complicated, could be by early morning.
Well, we will check back in then. I see what Master Hawkins was saying. You are quite broad. I start walking in the direction of Lulu's.
All right, so
I'm actually going to go to Master Hawkins, and just
oh hey, what's up? By the way, what's your name again? I'm really bad with names.
so am I. Don't worry about it. Names. I'm just trying to think if I want to give him a fake name or not. Just call me Ewan.
Ewan, good to meet you, Ewan. What can I do you for?
Is there anything around here, any place where we can earn more of these soul coins?
Sure, but what do you have to trade for them?
Mostly skills.
I have an annoying devil catcher that I barely use.
I mean, the Wandering Emporium, it kind of wanders. So if all you have to trade are skills, it may be hard to find the place after you've done what you were needing to do. Most things here is some kind of trade. Coins, precious metals, art, magic weapons, or armors, or items.
Indeed. You don't have like a rotating schedule? You could come back to this spot every so often?
No. Me and Bobby Sox kind of go where it just seems right. And then all of a sudden, there's a snarl, and you hear the regular thumping of a loping charge, and you see a creature running towards Master Hawkins, and it leaps off the ground, spreads its wings, and knocks him right to the ground.
And how was he reacting?
He's like, "Oh, Lex, how you doing, boy? How you doing?" And that's when you notice it looks to be like a tan pit bull, but with wings. and he says, Lex, come on, get down. I'm working. And Al is like, Ruff! And like gets up, and then he goes right over to Solomon and begins climbing up on Solomon and trying to lick Solomon.
He likes you.
So how big is it?
Probably about an 80-pound pit bull, but it kind of more barrel shaped than like muscular, and with a tail that pumps so hard that it kind of pulls his rear with each swing of the tail.
So then I will ignore everything that's going to go on in the conversation to play with the dog.
And he loves it. He likes to, you get to sense that he likes to play rough. So if you wanted to wrestle with him or like throw something for him to fetch, he would be all over it.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for, to see if I have anything. I don't really have anything that looks like it's easily throwable. So I would just wrestle with them then. I would consider throwing a handful of diamonds and then realize I may need those if someone dies.
Sorry about that, Ewan. So what were you saying?
Just there wouldn't be anything around here that we don't have to get off. I forgot the name of the goddamn thing.
Bobby
Whatever
socks?
socks, Bobby socks. I wanted to say bandy socks. It didn't sound right. New socks was involved.
I mean, you can ask around. People might be willing to make exceptions, or they might have some more specifics. But I couldn't tell you.
Do you have mage or person skilled in magic?
Oh yeah. It's got a hard name to say, so I just call him Swervy. And then there's Mr. Smythe. They're a pair. One of them does the magic, the other one does the smithing, and they fight like an old married couple, but they've been a team as far as I can remember.
Good. I have something I picked up that I need a talented eye to take a look at and tell me what it does. Sounds like I will see the Swervy.
Yeah, Swervy will help.
How big is this village? Village,
Um,
I guess. I don't know. Village size.
yeah, it's probably about 2-3 blocks, maybe.
Okay.
So it's fairly decent size.
For being on the back of a fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I wasn't sure if like there was any reason to spend any time here doing carousing.
I mean, it might not be a bad idea. You could probably do that if you wanted to. Like Master Hawkins said, they trade in coins as well in some cases. So even if you didn't have soul coins to like drink and like rough house, you could probably still get by if you have something.
Yeah, I mean, I could basically spend my long rest here carousing. It's a thing that I do.
Is that like a? Is that
It's an actual ability, yeah.
nice? That's part of the pugilist?
What's that?
Is
Yeah,
that
the
part of
pugilist. This specific pugilist, I believe. Archetype. That's how you get to know the place. You get to know this. You get to know a place by learning its nightlife, or whatever the hell the night is equivalent of here.
I just based on that description, I could just see Ewan shadowboxing for 8 hours, like all night, and then, like down the street. And then by the time he's done, he's like, "Yeah, I know the city inside and out. I shadowboxed it all the way
Right.
up and down."
And as he's doing it in the background, it's just the Rocky theme for
Yeah.
8 hours. Meanwhile, in the background, the pit bull has clamped down on my shield, and we're just having a tug of war.
So I don't know why, but the idea of you and just shadowboxing all across town reminds me of this. Where's the chapter?
No, while we're here, we might as well see if we can find some sort of magical expert to identify some of the stuff we haven't figured out what it does yet.
This Swervy appears to be the person to talk to.
Who is Swervy?
Some magic person, according to Master Hawkins.
Because we have the evil ring of evil from the evil lady.
And I have unknown talisman. Retrieved from can't remember his name. Wasn't important.
If we can ever
He
find
wasn't-
Alyssa, we might as well figure out what's so evil about her shield that it has that evil looking face on it.
It's probably in league with this ring.
I mean, possibly. They came from different planes, but who knows?
Well, Master Hawkins, we shall make our way to Swervy. Can you point us in direction?
Sure. He's over at the Charms and Harms shop, and he describes the shop to you and points it out. It's visible from here at the garage. It looks like one of the few buildings. Well, no, not one of the few buildings, but it's kind of like what you would think of in terms of what a magic shop would look like, with windows of different sizes and orientations and like just weird geometric kind of things all around it to make it kind of stick out.
That guy wish he was as buff as Ewan is. From the video.
And it's got a sign on the front of it saying Charms and Harms. So you make your way over there, and as you walk in, there's the bells that ring over the door, and then all of a sudden you hear a loud boom, and then somebody shouts, "You're in my side of the shop, get out of here!" And then you hear a ah.
We are looking for Scurvy.
Swervy. We are looking for a Swervy.
So from behind a beaded curtain, you see this person emerge. Swervethan Le Goodling Spillet. And he says, yes, I am Swervethan Le Goodling Spillet. Who might I ask is looking for me?
Not the voice I was expecting to come out of that.
We are.
I'm sorry, what kind of voice were you expecting?
It's not important. Go ahead, Vegna.
We are new in town. We hear
Warforged. We don't see many of your kind around.
Do many of my kind make it to Fernia?
Yeah, I have seen one or two of you before. The first one was a very fine gentleman. Got a good amount of conversation with him.
What did you talk about?
Oh, many things. Talked about the history of his battles in something called the Last War. And a lot of his hopes and dreams once he realized that war was not all that he had to look forward to.
He is one of many who make such realization. Not all Warforged are blessed to have life outside of war. Vegnog is blessed in this way.
Very good for you. Now, what can I do for you today?
We hear you have skills in arcane knowledge. We have.
Yes, I have this.
We have some items we have procured, and we are unsure of their nature. We are hoping that you could inspect them and tell us what we might be carrying.
I see. Yes, this is something within my power. So, the pricing works based on the item. So I first commit myself to a understanding what magics or mysteries lie behind the item, and then I determine the price of the information. If this is something that can work for you, then we can make arrangements to move forward.
What sort of currency do you take?
Well, the preferred currency of this land is soul coins. However, if you have other things to offer, I'm willing to consider.
I swing my backpack off and pull the alms box out. And opening it up, I take out the ring and put it on the table or counter or whatever's around.
So as you are beginning to put the ring down, he says, wait. And then he pulls a kind of felt square out from under one of the cabinets and places it on the counter. And he says,
as he does that, I was trying to get it out of my hand because it's an evil ring, so I don't want to hold it. So I will be like hot potatoing it between my two hands.
Give me a acrobatics or dexterity check.
It's the same thing, and it won't be good. Not that bad.
Okay, so you don't fumble it. So you don't have to get embarrassed and like look for it and accidentally knock things over as you're trying to get it from under the counter or shelf.
I have to admit, that's kind of what I was hoping for. We owe all of our soul coins to this guy because of all the stuff I broke.
Yeah. Like a bull in a china shop. So as Solomon is putting the ring upon this felt square, if you guys look around, you notice that there's a lot of potions and scrolls and tomes all throughout this place. But then you also notice that there's another, on the other side, there's another kind of beaded doorway. And you notice that over the one that Swerbathan came out of, it says charms, and then over the other one it says harms.
Why would anyone ever go through that door?
Go into harms.
Well,
I try to stop you and point out the sign.
well, that's my partner, Heb Smythe. He is a master smith. He is good with creating things such as weapons and armor and other kinds of trinkets.
Well, I mean, I may have something for you both to look into at the same time. Yeah, and I'd show him my arm.
It is a nice prosthesis.
Yeah, I've got feeling in it. Is that normal? Because I feel like it's not.
It is not beyond the realm of possibility to create a prosthesis that is able to feel.
How about one that's tied back to a goddamned hag?
A hag?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is bad juju. You do
Yeah, no
not
shit.
want to be associated with such things.
Yeah, could you sever such a thing?
Oh, that's maybe a bit more difficult. Because then it is not just a matter of if I can sever it, but if I wish to willingly cross the one who put it there. That's...
I mean, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I understand. I mean,
Don't goad me, young man. I know what you're doing. I am not so easily operated off of my emotions. I've been around a long while.
sure. All that time. Again, I mean, after all that time, you still can. It's fine. I'm sure somebody can.
I'm sure somebody can, and I'm sure somebody will offer a price that you are willing to pay for it. So, now, you have the ring. Is there anything else that you wish for me to examine?
Yes, I have Talisman. And I pull out the talisman that I got from Dorgok.
Okay.
I think it was Dorgok.
Yep.
And I pull it out and place it next to the ring.
Okay. Now, is this all that you wish for me to uncover the mysteries behind these objects?
I had never seen one of these before. Is there like some magic trick or some flourish or some sparkles
For what?
for revealing the mystery?
Oh, well, each practitioner has their own ways of going about it. Mine may seem a bit strange, but it does the job well enough.
Vegnog is curiosity is piqued.
Well, you are welcome to watch me in my ritual while I divine what mysteries lie behind these items, or you are welcome to browse about the shop, or perhaps browse about the other side of the shop in the harm section.
I'm already over there.
All right.
Oh, I will wait outside. This place is dull.
In fact, as I cross the barrier to the harm side, I go, ah!
At which point I would stop, ready to jump to your aid.
I'm like, I'll like head back and like use my hand. Ah!
Sinking bolt right at your hand.
When you do that, you hear, as you get closer to there, you hear a rhythmic like thumping, and then when you do that, you hear a ah.
There's another yell.
So you pass through the beaded door, and then there's a second beaded door, and when you pass through there, it's like a mirror reflection of the shop that you just came from, but instead of tomes and potions and things, you see just tons of racks of different weapons and armors. Occasionally you might see bracers or like tiaras or rings, and you see this person nursing a sore thumb with a hammer laying at the floor, and a hot red hot piece of iron on the anvil. And this is Heb Smythe.
Now this one I like.
And he is rubbing his thumb and he's like, "What's the matter with you? Why are you doing that? Can't you hear that I'm working?"
No, I had to mess with them. I had to.
Well, don't mess around in here. It's dangerous.
Apparently.
And that's when you also notice that there's a full like smithing, like there's the oven and the anvil and the hammers, and he has all kinds of tools, and it's a full shop in addition on the other side. And then he looks at you and he's like, "Well, do you know what you want, or are you gonna look around?"
I don't know yet. I'll look around. Not much for armor, but you never know when you might need something.
Well, let me know if you got any questions. Now, don't disturb me otherwise, though.
I have
working on something here.
Do you sell ranged weapons? I have crossbow, but it is arguably a little weak. Curious if you have anything that would give this some oomph. Maybe
sure, I got
bullets.
crossbows. There's a whole rack of them over there. And as he points to, oh, is that too loud? I'm sorry. All right, and toned it down a bit.
What was that bird sound again from the last campaign?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
So you were about to tell us about your rack?
Yeah. So you also notice next to the rack that he points to with the crossbows, there is what appears to be a hollowed out warforged on a stand.
Is this some kind of sick joke?
No. Does it look like I'm laughing?
Where did this Warforged come from? Why is it not full of life and splendor? Why is it the mere prop?
Because he tried to kill me, so I killed him first, and I wasn't gonna let good raw materials go to waste. What was he? So your brother or something?
I'm not particularly. There is lots of hate against Warforged. Many don't like us. I was concerned that maybe you harbored some distrust. Rest assured, I will not try to kill you. Why did he want to kill you anyway?
If I was worried about that, I wouldn't have pointed out the crossbows. But now that you say it like that, I'm getting a little bit concerned about having you in my shop.
Just imagining, like, what if I went into like a sporting goods store and there's just a taxidermied human, and the shop owner thinks it's weird that I'm weirded out.
Did you make anything good from his chassis?
I think so, but probably nothing that you would benefit from, unless you like wearing the skin of your own kind.
I can't say I'm a fan.
The Warforged version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably very different.
A lot more smelting involved.
Eggnogg's gonna look. He's gonna go look at the crossbows and avoid eye contact, avert his gaze from this Warforged chassis that's just sitting there. So yeah, I guess I'm looking to see if there's any crossbows that are more than the DM, the player handbook crossbow.
So with where is it? So there are various magical and mundane weapons and armors in here. In addition to the common things that you would see, you also notice that there are versions of these items that have been made in different materials, and they are labeled as adamantine, gilded, which seems to be some kind of gold plated or gold etched weapons, mithril, and silvered.
Which, if I were going to kill demons, lots of them, which one of these would you recommend? I think biggest punch.
Well, probably would want to go with a silvered weapon. Fiends, for whatever reason, don't really like the touch of silver.
How much is silver crossbow?
Well, the crossbow's not really going to help much, but the bolts are what you're going to want.
That's what I meant. Bolts. How much are silver bolts?
Pack of 20 will cost you 150 gold pieces.
I can do that. And he will hand him 150 gold pieces.
And then I think I mentioned this at the end of last session, but these shops, I haven't specified any, what they're carrying, but I have rough price ranges for things. So if based on rarity and everything, so if there was anything specific that you wanted to look for, there's a good chance that you'll find it. It's just a matter of how much it would cost. So that goes for weapons, armor, magic items, potions, scrolls.
Have we gotten like an estimated value of these soul coins in gold value?
Well, I mean, you can talk to Heb Smythe in terms of what his conversion rate might be. Oh, one other thing to mention is not only are there these versions of weapons and armor in these different materials, but also arcane and divine focus items in these different materials as well. So
some like a couple pairs of bracers of defense. I say a couple pairs because both me and mother
Lux.
Yeah. Names are gone tonight. We have mother on top of stinky socks. And yeah.
So you do see a set of bracers of defense. The prices are not listed though. So if you wanted to discuss pricing and stuff, you would need to get Heb Smythe's attention.
I'll you know, I mean, are they just like on a shelf or
Yeah.
like being obvious, not like obviously like trying to hide or anything, just like, you know, so like pick them up and like, how much are these?
We'll do 8,000 gold pieces.
And how much is that in soul coin exactly?
You prefer soul coins?
Well, not necessarily, but I sure as hell don't have 8,000 gold coins.
Well, if you wanted to pay in soul coins, it would be 10 soul coins.
Got it.
Or we come back with a wrecking ball at night. Turn this into a heist. A very unsubtle heist.
Right. I'll just like set him back down. Maybe another time.
All right. And he kind of goes back to pounding his iron.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't know what else. Other. Does he have? So the curiosities would probably be on the other side, right?
Yeah. So Vegnog, did you wanted 20 of those silvered bolts then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if the bolts are 150, then he's probably not going to be able to afford like a better bow or a better crossbow.
Okay.
So we'll just do the bolts.
Well, let's see.
Unless we've been getting gold and I just never updated my character sheet, which is totally possible. But I've only heard of.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we've been getting gold. But what we have been getting that we haven't already talked about is just like random items we never use. I don't know which ones Lux has, but I'll bet you there's some things she picked up that Peter doesn't bother to use. I have like this magical necklace that lets you convert spells from one element to another. Haven't used it. Probably won't. So we do have some things we could in theory like try to trade in.
Right.
Yeah, Vegnog doesn't. The only thing he really had was the talisman, but he didn't know what it was.
That's true. When we might need to trade them in to pay for whatever that identification is, depending on what we get charged for it.
What is this?
And
Deathly battle rod?
if Lux were here, it would make sense to me that, and I don't know where Lux is in game, but it makes sense to me that Lux might also ask about trying to make her unarmed strikes magical, because she lost that a while back.
What level is she now?
Yeah, she's level
7 with the
6.
rest of us.
Yeah, so she has magical strikes now.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
We
realize.
just don't have the plus. She doesn't have the +1 anymore.
Yeah. And let's see, because Vegnog, you actually might be able to afford a nice shiny new crossbow.
Yeah, I got 150 gold pieces after my bolts. So,
I mean, actually, I haven't looked in a while, but I actually do have gold on me too. I don't know when I got it, but I'm richer than I realized. It's just that there has been zero chance to ever spend any gold since we got here.
I got 58 gold pieces marked on my sheet. So
I have 30 platinum pieces and 100 gold, 104 gold. In fact, I am surprised I haven't just dropped all that in the dirt because it's just weight.
So Dustin, for 100 gold pieces, you could get because you're looking for a light crossbow.
yeah, I basically trying to see if there's like a +1 or something that gives any sort of advantage over like a standard one. I guess if there's like a crossbow that's got like a cool demon skull on it too, like Vegnog would be mildly amused by that, even if it doesn't do any additional damage.
So he does have some crossbows that look like they're like the average run-of-the-mill crossbow, some that look like super fucking fancy, but then he has some that are in the middle that are like really finely crafted, but they don't have any like rune carvings or anything really intricate included in it. One of those ones would cost you 100 gold pieces, and it's essentially a masterwork version, so it doesn't offer you any kind of, it doesn't count as magic for the purpose of like damage reduction or anything like that, but it would give you a +1 bonus to attack.
Yeah, I'll take it. And I'm reasonably certain D&D Beyond has like a masterwork crossbow.
Well, nice doing business with you. anyone else need anything?
Part of me was hoping Vegnog would just go Terminator and like load the crossbow and shoot him.
He's just a tiny cat. He can't handle it.
And that only does attack, not damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go check on. I'm gonna go check on Swervethan Goodfellow. Or
Yeah, I'm gonna go walk around his shop.
Okay. So, Swervethan, as you cross the beaded entryway into his place, you notice him pouring something over the two items and then setting it on fire, and then it erupts in like a blue flame, and then after the blue flame dies out, it begins releasing a lot of smoke, and he inhales all of the smoke.
what are you doing?
He doesn't seem to notice you. And in fact, if you look closely, he seems to be in the midst of some kind of trance and mumbling something under his breath.
But you would have seen with Lux many times before anyway, after she inhales the smoke. You also realize that outside you hear Solomon is preaching very loudly about the silver flame to everyone who is passing by. These could be the only people in all of Fernia he has some chance of saving by bringing them to the true religion.
So most people just kind of ignore you, Solomon, but there are a couple that seem genuinely interested in what you have to say about this.
It's good. I mean, I am just sort of going, say it's probably all the most basic doctrine, and it's probably not all 100% correct, but it is a way to amuse himself and possibly save people.
But it's not only just like the information, it's your enthusiasm.
Sure.
That seemed to be drawing some of the people in. So after a few minutes in this trance, Swervethan kind of like shivers, and he's like, oh, that is unpleasant. Oh, you're back. Well, I have divined the information of the magics behind these things. It's quite terrible magic, I must say, for the both of them. If you wish to know what magic is contained within these items, it will cost 2 soul coins.
And Vegnog will like huddle like with Ewan.
Alternatively, if 2 soul coins is outside of your budget, we could instead deal with 1,500 gold pieces.
I already gave all my available gold pieces to Smith.
Ah, yes. Mr. Smythe is quite the salesperson. He snickers at his own joke.
Oh. Well, I think it would be worth spending the soul coins that we have. I think we will have enough. Do you have any magical implements that could reduce or enhance energy usage of a vehicle? Or is that more of a Thalo question?
You know, I have heard that there are substances that can be useful in that endeavor. If you wanted to know more about it, I would speak with Lulu. Lulu has been experimenting with Demon Eater. It has some properties he's interested in, and he seems to be most excited about what it can do when used as a fuel supplement with these infernal war machines. I've spoken to him a little bit about it, since our interests sometimes overlap, but it is not exactly my cup of tea.
We've heard much about Lulu. And it is probably time that we paid them a visit.
Are you attacking?
He
trying to
wants
rip
to
him off.
charge he wants to charge 2 soul coins to tell us what the ring and the talisman do.
2 soul coins. That's a lot.
Or 1,500 gold pieces.
That's also a lot.
Vegnak said he'd think it'd be worth it. Just because then we would know what this powerful Ring of Doom does.
But Swirly doesn't realize he's talking to the poorest member of the party.
Yeah, I don't know, man. A lot of the coins are going to be tied up in the vehicle.
About half are tied up in vehicle. We still have half to consider with.
Consider our movement across this damn place.
If you wish, I can instead give you the information for one of these items of your choosing for 1 gold piece, 1 soul coin, or 800 gold pieces.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call. Could be handy.
I will let you know that both of these items are very dark in the magic that is embedded and suffused within these items.
Yeah. Can you tell us if they're cursed at least?
But that is part of the price of the information.
Seems a bit unethical.
I told you upfront the expectations of this transaction. If they were terms that you did not agree with, then you didn't have to proceed with me.
I think it's worth it. We still have enough to drive across the plain. We will have kitted out sweet sick ride that we can use to also harvest more soul coins
That's another mystery here. How the hell are those things even made? The coins.
Soul coins.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasant process.
I don't imagine so. I don't think anything's pleasant here in this place.
The rumor is that primarily these soul coins are harvested from the souls of mortals who have chosen to engage in contracts with fiends. In return for the boons provided by these fiends, they have given up their souls, which are then used in currency. It is an unverified rumor, but one that seems to carry some weight.
Salute Rosie should be.
There's also rumors of things called Fiend Coins. Now, those are something that I am interested in.
How does one acquire these?
Well, once again, this is mere rumor and speculation, but fiends of a certain level of power, or perhaps not power, hierarchy, ones that have a certain level of influence, when they are killed, there is an opportunity to complete a ritual that binds their essence into a coin similar to similar to the soul coins.
Anybody claim to know this ritual?
None that I am aware of. And I have
Shame.
been around Fernia many times with this caravan.
Well, how much did he say what in soul coins it was?
I would
Two?
come back in about this point.
Just 2?
Yeah.
2 soul coins for both, or I'm willing to indulge 1 soul coin for either.
Have you have identified these objects then?
I have.
And it will cost what?
2 soul coins for both of them to have their mysteries told.
So the ring, it is I assume evil.
Oh, dark magic suffuses both of these items.
That's all
Oh.
he'll say.
Well, that would seem to make it easy. We don't need to know what they do if we would never use them. We should simply seal them away in the alms box and move on.
Didn't you have a vision about that amulet?
Yes, but obviously we wouldn't use it if it's evil. Perhaps we were meant to simply keep it away from the forces of evil.
Well, perhaps it's useful. And perhaps it's only evil because the last person who used it was evil.
I don't know that that would make it evil in and of itself, but I suppose maybe. But the ring, I expected to be evil. And there were no visions about that. So we definitely do not need that identified.
I'm not
This is fair.
100% sure, but I think that the amulet that you had the vision about was not the one you're trying to identify.
Is it
Oh,
not?
was it the one, the elemental swapping necklace then?
It could have been.
The one gotten from the fight with the thing trying to like kill the Azures? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one that was though. Because at one
Well,
point it was an amulet, and then I do think
both-
at some point we started talking about it as a necklace. So
Right.
Both
Right.
of them were obtained from the same fight.
Yeah, I think that's true too. So
So either way,
that is entirely Solomon.
Yeah.
That he would have a vision about something and then not remember which magical amulet it was.
Yep.
So
I'm
is this
sure it will be fine either way. If we are meant to know what these things do, the silver flame will make it evident when we need to know it.
we're not?
We just have to have faith.
What if your silver flame only helps those who help themselves?
The silver flame helps everyone.
If you say so. The silver flame brought us here. That sure is a fucking shit show.
if I may, I do not normally interject with these kinds of discussions, but obviously, since I know the magics behind these items that you have requested me to divine, my suggestion would be, if you are concerned about price, for me to tell you about this one. Any motions to the amulet. That one seems to be, at least in my estimations, more interesting. Of course, this is completely your decision, and like I said, I do not normally engage in this kind of discussion, but that one is fascinating to me.
And I will fish out my alms box again and flip it open and then use the little piece of felt that the ring is on to slide the ring off into the box. It sounds fine to me if Vegnog wants to know what the amulet does.
I would like to know.
Might be worth it.
Very
Not-
well.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see once the information is given here if it's worth a whole gold or whole soul coin. But go ahead.
All right. And then he holds his hand out for the soul coin.
Vegnog hands him one.
All right. This talisman is known as the Talisman of Final Retribution. If a friend is killed, it allows the deceased person to return to life. However, that life is going to be very short. This person becomes a juggernaut, a creature that cannot be destroyed or hurt. It is completely devoted to its final actions. Within moments after being risen, they explode.
That sounds less than ideal.
It is a harsh death, while it allows them to provide, well, I suppose in battle it could be useful if things are looking grim as a sort of last resort. But individuals killed in this way, their souls, they do not go to the normal afterlife. They are, to some degrees, lost. But there's also a curse attached to this item.
Also, if the body explodes, I do not believe I have the power to bring you back to life. So it would not be my first choice.
Sounds like if you explode, your soul's gone anyways.
Maybe this is how soul coins are made.
What is curse associated with this item? Do you know its nature?
The curse is the results, the ultimate fate of the soul of the one raised by the magic of the talisman. Their souls are lost. They are diverted from their normal path. They are unable to find the rest that they were meant to seek.
How many soul coins would this talisman be worth to you?
It's hard to say. It is certainly an item of great power, but it is also an item of great dark power. Things like this have many uses, but few of those uses are ultimately with the ideal.
But you may find someone else willing to trade you interesting objects for it as well. Someone who is not as wary as we would be of using such an item.
I would provide 2 soul coins for the talisman.
I don't know. Seems like a 2.5 soul coins type of talisman here.
I do have to agree with you on. It seems like this would be to the right buyer. This could be quite a worthy artifact.
Perhaps, but I am the one that must maintain overhead. There are expenses. I take all of the risk.
On this episode of Pawn Stars.
I gotta frame it.
It says like he has to maintain the overhead like Vegnon was around at like the tent.
That's right up Vegnog's alley, right?
Yeah.
And understand overhead. I also understand a good deal.
But if you
Either
want-
Vegnog or Ewan, give me a perception or a persuasion check.
I got a +8.
Persuasion. I got a 4, so
Vegnog will roll.
nice.
I will give you 2 soul coins and half in store credit.
Very generous of you. I'll take you up on that.
And he hands the talisman of retribution over. As he holds out his hand for the 2 soul coins and then the IOU or the coupon.
Yeah, so he takes the talisman and he puts it in a kind of lockbox. And then he provides you with the 2 soul coins. And then if you want a written IOU, he can provide one.
Vegnog wants to keep a copy of his receipts. and a copy of all the debts that are owed. So yeah, he like a written IOU.
All right.
He's got two inner compartments that he opens for that.
Yeah, he gives you a gift card that's worth half a soul coin.
Damn it, another Apple gift card.
It is a good trade. We are already getting our vehicle repaired, so although I suppose I can imagine uses for an amulet that would raise the dead and turn them into some unstoppable monster with our vehicle fixed up. Perhaps we even can see if we can figure out a way to afford the armor. Then we will ourselves be the unstoppable juggernauts.
Yep.
Wow. Do you have any ideas of what you would wish to use for your store credit? As you can see, I have many potions and scrolls and baubles.
I was just about to start looking.
I will look around. I assume there's like no prices listed on anything.
Yeah, that's correct.
So in a moment of insight, I think I would realize that probably all his prices just quintupled the moment he handed over the IOU.
What a bag of holding.
All right, let's see.
It's an uncommon item.
He does have one. I see you're looking at the bag of holding. Is that something that would interest you?
Certainly would be handy, huh?
Well, just so happens that one is on sale of a sort. It's only a 100 gold pieces.
Is it?
Anybody got 100 gold pieces?
Is it
I
less?
do.
Is it less to your style?
What's that?
Is this bag of holding out of season? Was it last year's make and model?
It's on sale because it's a fanny pack of holding.
It's not quite as well made as some of the others. It doesn't look as visually appealing. And you do notice that when you look at the bag of holding, it almost seems like less of a bag of holding and more like a
Bag of devouring?
a burlap pouch.
Oh.
With a
I thought I was gonna
really
say, thought you might say baby Bjorn.
no, it is a bag of holding. It functions exactly like a bag of holding. It just looks like it's made out of like burlap and not very well made. It functions well enough, but
Well, all right. I mean,
I don't know how much money I actually have, but we collected money in the beneath the bathhouse. I've just had it ever since.
yeah, I mean, Might be worth it.
And I proceed to dump out like 130 silver and 100 gold and 30 platinum onto the floor out of the alms box.
You're making a mess.
Is this enough?
You didn't. We could have just pulled it out of the box. It's fine.
You're making a bit of a mess in my shop. A lovely mess, I must say, but still, it is a mess.
So I'll just start scooping it back up into the box.
If you would prefer that I count it out, I'm happy to do so, but perhaps one of you wish to assist your friend?
Yeah, I'll be helping.
Yeah, and Vegnog will be taking inventory.
How about that?
I mean, if we are buying a bag to hold things, you could actually take all these coins off of me because they're heavy.
Yeah, we'll put them in piles.
So yeah, I have 25 copper, 133 silver, 104 gold, and 30 platinum pieces.
Swerve
Not
Fan
counting,
really,
assuming you didn't spend 100 gold to buy the bag. Pre-bag, that's what I had.
so Swervathan really looks like he's eyeing the platinum and says, I'll accept the platinum pieces.
Sure you would. 100 gold would be 10 of those.
That is acceptable.
Be take up less space though for us if we gave you the other stuff.
Coins are coins. I have my preferences, but I'm not going to quibble over the type of coin.
Plus the goal is to spend our store credit.
Yeah, I mean, how much of the store credit did we bargain for here?
Half a soul coin.
Which is like somewhere between 350 and 400 gold pieces, based off of the current conversion rates.
I mean, it would be good if we could find someone who sold like just conventional healers kits. I have been out of healer kits for a long time.
That is another area where you may find success with Lulu. Alternatively, where is it?
Well, I do think it is clear we are taking the
Right.
bag. It's just a question of whether we are paying for it in coin or out of the store credit. So we should see if there's anything else we need.
Indeed.
Yes, so Lulu will have healer's kits probably. He deals in all kinds of mundane poisons and substances. Or alternatively, if you're looking for more magical forms of health and wellness, I do have potions that can restore your well-being.
He had a cloak of displacement. Sure, it's expensive, but something to look into.
You have any ugly cloaks of displacement that are on sale?
Yeah. I don't care.
From 2 years ago, it's Cerulean, which is 5 years out of date. Burlap Cerulean.
I have a cloak that may meet your needs. It would be the equivalent of 10 soul coins.
That's what I thought.
Almost buy our own displacer for that.
If you're looking for exotic animals, we have a merchant who deals in those as well. He's a strange fellow. His face is quite scarred. Ekimon de Vidalis.
Where is his shop? I can't believe we didn't visit the pet store immediately.
It is close to, well, I don't know which way that you came in, but one of the entrances to this place, it is close to there.
But don't see why we need to get another mouth to feed.
Pets can be useful.
And expensive. Did your mother ever tell you that?
What do we think?
My mother killed every pet I ever had.
She probably did.
Actually, he wouldn't know that anyway. They all went to a farm shortly after I acquired them.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, obviously we can't afford the that cloak. Just kind of looking through lists.
Do you have belt? Belt of, I heard about it. It's called Belt of Misdirection.
Oh, that I have not heard of. What does it do?
It allows you to switch place with somebody nearby at random. Useful if you're in a fight and
Interesting.
play in harm's way.
Huh. I've never thought about making something with that kind of magic. Certainly doable. I do not have such an item currently in my shop, but you've piqued my interest. I think that this is something that I will take on as my next project.
Very good. Well, if we come back to the Wonder Emporium later, perhaps you will have made some progress on it, and I can take a look. See.
Sure. If you wish to come back for such a thing, sure. So, if it is potions of healing that you are looking to acquire for half of a soul coin, I would be willing to provide 10 potions of 10 potions of healing, but a bit more heightened, more potent than the ones that are typical among the commerce.
That could be acceptable.
That would be good with that. We could use. It would be handy to have.
Do they work? Do they work on you?
I have some organic pieces.
What if it's not an organic piece that's injured?
Then I need to find a mechanic, I guess.
So these are potions of greater healing that he's offering. So they heal 44 plus 4.
But we can drink like, a half of them, right? To
Yeah, we
just
can-
get the 2d4 plus 2.
Microdose.
That might be useful if we find ourselves in a situation when I cannot heal you.
Yeah, I believe that would it would be a good choice. We'll have to figure out how best to split them, but
So by my count, you have spent 7 soul coins, gotten 1 back. Then you have obtained 10 potions of greater healing, 20 silver bolts, a masterwork like crossbow. Is there anything else that you guys were interested in trying to find, whether it's weapons or items here with Smythe or Sorbathan?
Vegnog is good with the charms and harms. Though I count like I counted that we spent 7 soul coins at the garage, and then we spent 1 and then
Here,
got
then got 1, but got 2
1.
back.
So we have 8 soul coins.
Wait, are you talking about how many you have left or how many you spent?
How many we have left now?
So let's.
I mean, I am, Solomon is fine. Solomon wouldn't know what to even ask for in a place like this. So, he's got his weapons. He really doesn't need any more of those.
So I have that you guys have 12 and a half soul coins.
See so I know at one point we had 14. What I don't know is like what rate we were burning them to drive all the places we drove. So 12 and a half, probably right.
Yeah.
some were eaten. Shit
That's
like
true.
that.
That's true. Some of them may have been used by people to get rid of exhaustion or things like that. So I have not been keeping track of those things.
Yeah,
But I think in the back of our head, we found 14 at one point, and we've just been using that as our point of reference without worrying about the niceties of actually having used them.
I have 14. I have 14 recorded in 2 sessions ago.
Yeah, so
So yeah.
basically I've been also keeping track of how much you've been using for fuel as well and subtracting it. So so I have that you've spent 6 soul coins from your total of your transactions between the vehicle and Swibithan and
Right.
Smythe. So you have 6.5 left.
Okay.
I mean, are we going at risk of running out of soul coins before our mission is done? Do we need to consider selling things to get more soul coins? Because I will be honest, I'm wary of selling the Ring of Evil, but maybe that's why the Silver Flame brought it to us, was to bolster our reserves and not simply to have us lock it away in the alms box.
Well, it was meant to be a potential bargaining tool, I believe.
Right, but I don't see we have
Also,
any need to go back and see that guy.
Are you having this conversation in front of Swibithan?
Yes. At least it didn't occur to me to walk away.
I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in the ring. I know what it is, and it is not something that I want in my shop.
Very well.
I
We
will
do have
say,
other magical items that I don't know if you would be interested in, or your weapon seller friend would be interested in.
well, sure, I would be interested in
I
haggling
will-
and bargaining.
Reach around to get off of my back the devil catcher and then extend it. Like this thing catches devils. You haven't really used it. I used it once. It worked. It was good, but I haven't had much use for it since.
That can be a powerful tool here in Fernia. Are you sure you wish to part with it?
I am not sure. A Silver Flame brought it to us for some reason. I just have not found out why yet. But as I was saying to my friends, if we are in danger of running out of soul coins, perhaps it would be worth it.
And yeah, we haven't. I mean, we tried using it once, I think, right?
Yes.
With Abaddon, I think.
Outside the keep or whatever, or outside
Yeah.
the cathedral. Yeah.
God, how does it work?
The devil catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like a man catcher, but it can capture a size large or medium demon, and essentially it just sort of grapples and restrains them.
Yeah, I have it on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's what it was. What about this? I'll pull out the obsidian steed.
Ooh, that's something that I would also be interested in.
Well, it has incredible sentimental value, but I'll be willing to part with it for 5 soul coins.
For 1 displacer cloak.
5 soul coins, you say?
I don't know the value of this. Can I estimate the value of this thing? Because I don't feel like it's 5 soul. I feel like it's way less than that.
You think that
But the
obsidian steed
sentimental
is
value is
well-
through the roof. So
You
Right.
think that the steed is worth less than 5?
I think so. I would imagine so.
Okay.
I mean, you were saying you were thinking about the cloak of the bat. The steed can fly, can it?
The cloak of the bat. No, I didn't mention the cloak of the bat. I feel like this place where there's never nighttime, a cloak of the bat would be useless.
Yeah.
So I thought it was you. So someone mentioned it, or maybe I just misheard, and that's where my mind went. It was a whole chain of thought, which is why I remember it, because it sounded like, I think you said, maybe you said bat cloak or something similar.
Cloak of displacement.
Yeah, it's
But it was the first time that I realized that, like, if a Warforged ever made it into the Marvel universe, Iron Man might look like a war crime.
Yeah, yeah. So Swervathan considers your offer very carefully for the obsidian steed. And he says, I will give you 4 soul coins for the steed.
Take your steed elsewhere. Ewan.
I'll give him a chance to reconsider. 4.5.
4.5 store credit.
I will give you 4 soul coins and 1 soul coin in store credit.
All right.
On the next episode of Pawnstar.
Here you are. Here you are, twisting my arm here. Twisting my arm. Ugh. All right.
All right, so now you have 10.5 soul coins.
Just a little more, we can afford that armor.
Plus
with vehicle.
Plus 1 in store credit.
What we should do is
1 in store credit or 1.5 in store credit.
Well,
Or
we
did we
spent
use that?
half
Did we use that?
to buy
We
the
used it. Yeah,
version.
yeah.
We should get 1 more potion and then ask for the rest of the store credit in soul coin.
You could ask. We could ask for store credit to be used to tell us what the ring is.
No, I don't think it's worth it.
I agree. I don't imagine we would use the ring anyway. I mean, the better of the 2 items was the one that causes your dead friends to explode.
Yeah. He didn't even want the ring.
I know.
So we are back to shopping. The shopping episode continues.
I tell you what. You see our what we have here going for our group. What do you think? What would you pick out for us?
Hold on 1 second. I'm just recording everything that you guys have been buying and everything because it's a lot more than I expected.
We're here to fuck with things.
That's the problem when you say you could buy anything here.
Yeah.
Or and that's not really a problem. Like that's what ends up happening.
Okay, so just want to double check with you guys. So you've spent 7 on the car, 1 on the identify, You got 2 back for the talisman. Then you got 4 back for the steed. And then 1 additional in store credit. You spent half a store credit on 10 healing potions, which was also from the talisman part. And then with gold, you've bought 20 silver crossbow bolts, a masterwork light crossbow, and a bag of holding.
Right.
Yep.
And I've deducted the 100 gold for the bag of holding from my gold. So that we
Okay.
don't double count it on our character sheets. And really, I only want, I mean, Solomon would want like 1 of the potions just in case, but otherwise other people should take them.
Yeah, it's definitely the way it should be. If we do, because it's usually just 4 of us, right? So occasionally Alyssa pops out of Mallet's face, but whenever she does, she's fully healed. So what does she care? And then, so yeah, I mean, if we go 1 to Solomon and then 3 to the rest of us, that way if Solomon goes down, we just grab his and pour it in his mouth.
Yeah, it works. I mean, sorry with me.
And if
Or if you each have
any of
3, you
us-
can grab one of your own and pour it down my mouth.
chances are we will have used ours already.
I have so many tabs open right now.
3 for Vegnog, 3 for Lux, 2 for me, 2 for Solomon.
Right. Just remember to tell Lux that she has it.
I have a potion of greater healing in my inventory right now.
Sell it to him for store credit.
Right.
Let's see. So yeah, I don't know. What
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he would know what we would want.
Yeah.
I would think he would want us to take the stuff that he can't sell anyway.
Well, it's up to him to make a convincing argument on why we should take it. He's supposed to be a salesman. I mean, what is this? We're doing all the work here.
That's true. It is. It should really be a battle of the 2 master merchants.
Right.
So I would say one thing that you would like to make sure you have. Do you have any spellcasters among you?
That would be me.
So when it comes to using magic against fiends, you'll find many of them have some resistance to magic inherent in their biology. But if you use a focus of a certain kind, it can overcome these resistances. Is that something that might be of interest?
So far we have not. I use the holy symbol on my shield to cast my spells. They have not failed me yet. If my faith is strong enough, it will overcome their resistance on its own.
Very well. I do hope that your magic lives up to your faith in it.
Oh, and I have a necklace that lets me change the type of damage my spells do. I haven't used it yet, but yeah, I have it in case.
That can be quite helpful in this place. Certain creatures are more susceptible to certain kinds of sources of elemental harm. So being able to ensure that you have the proper element suffused into your magic can be a very powerful boon.
I always go for very powerful booms if I can. Oh, I just thought the worst possible thought Solomon could ever have. What if Lux got gauntlets of ogre strength? Imagine the beatings he would have had as a child.
Let's see. Yeah, I feel like Swervathan would be directing you to a lot of his different inventory, but I'm not sure most of it would be of much interest.
It's the problem sometimes.
Have you seen the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount?
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the magic items there that I was thinking about in the context of Lux is they have the Amulet of the Drunkard that allows you to, I forget how often, but it lets you, basically, it lets you use alcohol as if it were a potion of greater healing. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, that would be great for Lux if you just made it drugs instead. Amulet of the Junkie.
Oh, wait, let's see about that one.
Actually, what's it?
I'm sure it's like
Imperative.
once a day kind of thing. I just don't remember it exactly. I don't think it. I don't think it was like short rest. I think it was once a day. But I remember it was uncommon.
I'm a fan of the perioperative wound closure.
So he has something like that actually, and he points it out probably because he notices Lux smoking in his shop and he has a great amount of disdain for it. But he also recognizes a good opportunity to sell when he can, and he says that he has one, just such a thing in stock for 150 gold pieces.
Well, I cannot afford, but that seems like it'd be good for Lux. Would you like to get her a Mother's Day present?
Can't believe I will encourage her to smoke. But given that she will smoke anyway. So I will fish out 15 platinum pieces.
Okay. Okay. You still have a whole soul coin and fucking.
Yeah, I know. We
silver
were buying stuff with gold. I have to reserve the rest of my gold. You know, Lulu may have things we want too.
Did you want to trade the soul cat or the demon catcher?
No, I was just throwing it out there for people to consider.
Okay.
I think Demon Catcher still might be useful. Especially if we... Yeah, it might be useful still.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, we might need that.
Well, I have nothing else that I can think of or see here. I still would like to know what the ring does.
Well, you have a soul coin worth of store credit.
Not worth it.
Do you
Yes,
not-
because you're so eager to sell it to use it on other things.
I mentioned I'm a fan of the periaptive wound closure.
Oh, I didn't hear you with that.
Yeah, that's a great magic item right there.
Let's see.
I'd be willing to trade I'd be willing to trade a soul coin for the information. A merchant who is traveling with especially a merchant who specializes in jewelry, nonetheless, who's traveling with an unknown artifact, would be a disgrace amongst the guild.
And you figure out what it does. Shouldn't you have this ability? Then you should probably learn that.
I am not a magic man.
Don't worry about it. It's not like we're going to be selling it.
I have a periaptive wound closure. If you would like to spend your credit of soul coin on it, I think that would be a decent trade.
How would you work the stabilize part of it, though? Just curious. Since we don't fall unconscious like normal.
Basically,
Okay.
under the normal rules, it's basically the periaptive you can no longer die.
You can still die.
Pretty hard. The
I would
massive
say-
damage rules would do it, I guess.
I would say
be
that
it.
with periaptive wound closure, when you are reduced to 0 vitality points, you roll a d4. And that is the number of rounds that you can still remain alive to receive healing and prevent you from completely perishing.
Gotcha.
Still pretty good though, because we roll hit dice a lot in this game.
Mhm.
Right. That's like the big benefit of it.
So is that worth the soul coin?
I mean, it is to me, but
You could. It is your soul coin and store credit. You can choose to spend all you wish. I have no need of anything here.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not getting anything here either.
That looks good to me. I'll take it.
Okay, so here's how I'm, because I want to get it down so that I don't forget. So while wearing the pendant, if you're reduced to 0 vitality points, roll a d4. That is the number of rounds you remain unconscious before you die. If you take damage during this time, roll a Constitution save equal to half the damage taken. On a failure, you die. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the number of points it restores.
Okay.
I'm going to go d4 plus 1. Because that just seems like at least 2 rounds. All right, so is there anything else you wish to peruse or purchase?
I'm good.
Well, I have greatly enjoyed our transactions today. May you find peace out in the hellscape that is Fernia.
He's probably not. But it is appreciated. Thank you.
So is there anywhere else that you guys want to go?
The pet store. The pet store.
Perhaps we should check out Lulu first. And then go to the pet store and we can stop for ice cream. On way to pet store.
All right, we could go to Lulu's first.
The DC on that con save was half the damage.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so eventually you find your way over to Lulu's shop, which looks like a really dilapidated space. There are burn marks on the ground from recent explosions, and holes in the tent, with some of them very quickly patched over with canvas and glue. And when you walk in the middle, you see this creature hovering above the ground over a table, mixing various chemicals very, very carefully. And he has a number of burn marks across his body, and also seems to have soot in various places. But this is Lulu.
Weird fucking homunculus thing.
Lulu notices you and drops of one of the chemicals that he is trying to pour into another vial of chemicals, spills on the table, causing it to burst into flames. And he goes, "Oh no!" and he starts trying to put it out. But he has to first very carefully put the 2 vials that he's working with down in a safe space, and then he's like patting the flames. "What are you doing here? Who are you?"
We have heard about your reputation. We're new.
From her. It's not true. I didn't do it. It's not me.
No, your reputation as far as being able to concoct poisons and experimenting on such experiments on new chemicals.
You were doing something with Demon Ick, and then we were going to buy healers kits, and someone said that you were very much expert in all sorts of things like that.
I dabble in things like that. If any of you have experienced poison, or any person has been poisoned, I don't do that.
You don't treat people who were poisoned, or you don't? I would like to buy some healers kits if you sell them.
Oh, healers kits. Yeah, that we can do. I have healers kits. How many do you need?
To be honest, I haven't had a full healers kit in a long time. They would be super useful. How many do you have available to sell? And what is the price per kit?
I have. Well, let me check.
And he goes and rummages through his things in a manner that is very rough and unconcerned.
Yeah, I have six that I can part with. How many would you like?
To be honest, we could probably use all 6. It would not surprise me if we went through all 6.
Okay. That
How
would
much are
be,
they per kit, I suppose?
let's call it 100 for all 6.
I think that's fair. Vegnog, do you know? I have no idea what a healer's kit should cost in this place. It seems a godsend we found anyone selling them to me.
I didn't catch how much did he say it cost?
100 for all 6.
Soul coins?
No, gold pieces. I'm happy to accept soul coins if that is what you are having.
I would appreciate not using soul coins in this case. We just came from a very headachy merchant who made us trade soul coins back and forth. and then gave us pieces of paper that were worth parts of soul coins. I am not sure I could take any more of that.
Sure, sure. So,
So I will give him 10 platinum.
okay. Yeah, it's very good. Now, do you need any drugs or poisons or
Have you seen a little old half-orc lady? She may have come here looking to buy drugs.
He's gonna say no, even if she has been here.
And then he points with his trunk, and you see Lux on the ground, passed out, mumbling, looking like she sees you, but she's like, "Ugh," and she like without any dexterity in her hands, just kind of like flopping.
She looks sick.
it'll wear
yeah, I
off
like
in
to
about
think-
an hour.
She's a monk. I like to think she could at least muster up like a perfectly dexterous throwing something at Solomon's head.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be fine in a little bit. She just took some absentia.
Some
I hope
blood.
she doesn't develop a taste for anything she can't get back home.
So, do you have any demon ichor?
We were hoping
Not on me.
to do the same thing.
Too bad. I mean, I have some. I'm using it in my experiments.
Well, that's true. Wasn't there something else we were supposed to ask Lulu about? Lulu's name came up many times in the course of the day.
Oh, it's nice to see that I'm so popular.
We are interested in potentially we have a vehicle and we're interested in potentially finding a way to reduce the energy consumption so it doesn't require as much to drive around.
Oh, yes. Demon ichor can do this to some degree. I'm working on refining it a bit, but it is a very difficult substance to use if it is in too much prolonged contact with the skin. It can create some very bad effects. As you can see, I have no eyes.
So that's where the eye
I used to be a full-grown man.
How does one harvest demon ichor? Is it a processed material or is it straight out of demon body?
Well, it's something like if you kill a fiend, you take its blood and you take its organs, and then you kind of mulch them together, and that is demon ichor.
It sounds icky indeed.
It's very, very unsettling, I must admit.
In like a back room, he just has blenders going.
Industrial size of blenders.
But yes, demon ichor, it has some ability to boost the fuel efficiency on a vehicle. Vehicles that run on soul coins specifically. It will temporarily increase the speed of the vehicle. It has a possibility of exploding, but that is usually a small possibility, but it is short term, only 1 minute usually. But that is why I am working on refining the demon ichor to see if it can have more long-term effects on the usage of cell coins in the vehicles. I could make a killing. So much money. Imagine if you no longer had to spend cell coins to use as fuel. You could just use it as money. That would be great.
It would be interesting to spend Lulu dollars, Lulu bucks, for instead of soul coins.
Yes, imagine the value of cell coins if you didn't have to basically eat them up. Ugh, the value of cell coins would go so far down. Actually, if you think about it, because it will increase the number of cell coins around. So that might not be so great, but my process will make sure that I get all the cell coins because people will want to use this demon ichor instead of the cell coins.
Could we help you harvest demon ichor?
Ah, sure. If you bring me demon ichor, I will give you money.
How do we harvest demon ichor? Do we
Well-
leave that demon, or shall we find our own industrial sized blenders? I think I might be able to. Maybe I can blend it something. Maybe I can do that as well, but I'm not sure what level of you would want.
Well, if you give me some, I'll say 10 gold pieces, I can sell you a special blender that you can use. Just put the guts and you put the blood in it, and then you get the demon ichor.
A demon ichor starter.
And then you can harvest it and bring it to me, and I will give you money.
We find this acceptable.
Excellent. Well, let me go and get the special blender.
And then he comes out with it's probably like a gallon jug, and it has a column in the center of the jug with blades, and it looks like it is operated on a spring and a pull string. So it's like one of those hand cranked food processors. Have you guys seen those?
Yep.
Except this one also has a foot pedal so that you can use it to hold it down and actually get your arm working in it, like pulling on a lawnmower to get it started.
Sure, as one does.
Yeah.
This will be very helpful. Do you have any spare demon parts around that you could use to give a quick demonstration?
Oh, sure. I can demonstrate. Just 1 second.
And then he goes into the back room and he pulls out an imp body, which, you know, is Lulu is kind of small. He's only like 2 feet tall. So he is kind of dragging this thing. It's about half his size. And he just goes, all right, here we go. And then he takes a knife and slits the thing's throat and holds it over the jug and fills it as much as it can. And he like kind of shakes it. And then he just throws the entire body in and then starts blending it. He puts the top on and starts blending it. And it creates this really disgusting black ooze.
So this is ichor.
Yeah, you'll know that you have the right consistency when it looks like black tar, and then it has a very unique smell.
And he opens it up and you guys just smell it just is pungent. It smells like cheese and vinegar and rotten eggs and shit, all rolled into one.
Sounds lovely.
This will be very helpful.
Right, but like I said, you don't want to touch this stuff because if you do, it will be bad things. I got some in my eye on action, and now I don't have ice.
Do your
That's no
eye-
good. Is there gloves? You can get something to mess with this stuff?
I don't have gloves for you to purchase. You might be able to find some at a clothes shop around town. So,
Well, I think I
how
got.
are things?
I think I have gotten what I expected, which is a demon maker starting kit.
The homebrew kit. How to start your own microbrewery.
Pretty much.
How to make your own blends.
So something that is interesting is if you are fighting things that are not fiends, you can use it to coat on your weapons, and it will make things very bad for anybody that you hit with your weapons.
I would imagine so. It would also, without a proper application method, be pretty bad for us.
Yeah, you definitely want to wear gloves or something.
That's what I asked. If there's some special gloves.
Well, not really special, just anything that won't get wet.
That won't get wet?
Yeah.
What?
You don't want what you're using to be able to soak through, because if it soaks through, then it touches your skin.
Right. That makes more sense.
Right. So you want something with some kind of waxy coating, preferably, or paraffin. That might work well too.
How did it do against him? Exactly. Pointing to Vegnog and his metallic body.
I don't know. I've never seen a golem before.
Or this arm for that matter.
Oh, yes. That is an interesting arm. It might not hurt your arm or that guy, but it might. I don't know.
I am not golem. I am warforged. We take offense to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've
Gol-
just never seen one mouth like you
Golems are
before.
mindless creatures. Warforged. Warforged. We think for ourselves.
Oh. Okay.
We are not controlled by others. Only our own minds, our own destiny.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Don't
Since
cancel
this little
me.
guy-
I'm not racist.
Since this little guy hauled out 18 pounds worth of healer's kits, Solomon has been standing by the door, arms folded, waiting to leave. He was promised ice cream and a pet store. If we get there and the pet store is closed,
Yeah. Yeah. What?
I may be very cross with all of you.
Well, we can get going to the pet store.
So it's 10 gold for the starter kit.
And he hands you, Vagnog hands you 10 gold.
Very good doing business with you. I hope that I see you again and you bring me lots of Dominican.
I am sure you will. We will see each other soon.
Cool.
By
Can
the
we
way,
buy?
who is going to hold the bag of holding?
I mean,
Bag-
I guess it doesn't matter. It's a 15-pound bag.
Yeah, that would reduce my encumbrance a bit. I'm trying to figure out if I could even fit everything I have in the containers that I have. So I was going to say some of this stuff has to go into the bag of holding. But if I hold the bag of holding, then it'll be easier for my record keeping.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Hey,
All right.
I just wanted one for us.
Yeah, I get it.
So as we walk around, is there any are there any frozen treats that we can go to? I mean, this is Fernia, so they probably don't have ice cream, but maybe they got frozen yogurt.
Nothing like that. But if you ask around, everybody's going to recommend the 7 golden seals. And you'll get information that the 7 golden seals restaurant and spa is actually a pocket dimension that is maintained by Master Hawkins, so it doesn't technically exist in Fernia, and so that is how it is able to offer some of the things that it is able to offer.
I have to figure out how much does ice cream cost in hell. That'll be 10 soul coins.
Right. This is the impossible fucking job of making something cold enough.
Right. And it's, it's old timey ice cream. So the flavors are like oyster.
Well, if you are worried about making it to pet store before closing, assuming it does close at some time, we know Master Hawkins invited us to 7 Seals to stay. So they are at least open. Well into the evening, one will presume. Maybe we hit the pet store first.
Yeah, we can go look at creatures, whatever the hell they're going to be. Because I doubt there will be any normal animals.
You want to get one of the Lulus. Like a baby Lulu to raise as my own.
It might look cute with eyes.
Yes, preferably one with the eyes. Maybe we can go back and see if somebody's selling safety goggles.
Some water resistant gloves.
So eventually you come to kind of stables, and it is also the interesting thing that you notice about it is that the sign that for this place, it doesn't have a actual name, but it does have emblazoned upon the sign the symbol of House Vidalis. and you guys would know that as the dragon marked House of Handling,
Yeah.
and they are associated with the mage bred animals and beasts of burden and things that their house is famous for. Additionally, Solomon, you would know that the guardian of the keeper of the flame was long ago gifted with a specially created mage bred animal, and where is it? Known as Scaravogen, meant to protect the keeper and act as a companion beast to her.
That was the name of it.
Yeah. So this was a creature that was specially created by House Vidalis. So, when you go in, the first thing that you notice is that on either side of the entry, walking in, are two massive wargs. And both of them kind of lift their heads up and look at you in unison as you walk in, and you see their fur bristle. And they begin to kind of let low growls and clicks.
Probably don't want either of those. Look like they need to be trained.
And then you hear a man's voice from somewhere around the corner, and he says, "I am coming. Be still, Ra and Tal." And then turning the corner is a man with, first of all, he appears to be human, but which is interesting because he's the first human that you've seen in Fernia outside of Flamekeep. But his face is horrifically scarred. And then these are Ra and Tal. Yes. How can I help you?
Well, we are traveling across Fernia, and we heard that you sell unique animals to serve as companions.
Indeed, I do. What kind of animal companions are you seeking? Beasts of burden? Guard animals? Perhaps hunters?
Well, ideally, the cute ones. But if they are also useful in our trek, that would be ideal.
Come, let me show you what we have in stock. You may determine what is accommodating to your needs. So he runs you through the various stalls. You see abyssal chickens and abyssal turkeys. You see something that let's see.
Oh, I forgot to say, but I would have, before we left Lulu shop, I would have like fireman carried Bucks if she's not up to walking.
Fair enough. So one thing that you see in a stall is, oh, I stopped sharing. I didn't want to stop sharing. A bone whelk, which for those of you that it is. It's this guy. And it kind of, as it sees you guys coming, it slimes up the wall and the cage, trying to have its little pseudopod eyes poke out and try and touch you. You also see a stall that doesn't look like anything except for like there's a floating teddy bear in the stall. And that's when you notice the teddy bear is kind of sizzling and some bubbles rise. And then that's when you realize, oh, wait, no, this is some kind of gelatinous cube. You see some other things like some large hawk-like creatures, some other wolf and canine-like creatures, a few hellhounds, and then in one corner, just like kind of chilling out, not even in a cage, just kind of out and open, hanging out on like, so there are these small columns that kind of hold up some of these stalls. Chilling on one of those is a koala.
Ewan, pay the man. How much is that one?
I'm not gonna buy that thing. We can't fucking feed it. How the hell is it alive right now?
Does it eat?
Don't you know about these things? They're dumb as shit. They won't eat anything else. You can ask
I mean, I
Project-
guarantee you,
Project
I
Ezreal if
guarantee
he was
you,
here.
I have never seen a koala, and I've certainly never read about koalas.
I would say, yeah, I would say Ewan, you haven't seen or heard of them either. They're native to Ryadra, which is not Corvair.
Yeah, that's where all the spiders are at.
I am sure he is super useful.
Does this thing have any combat capabilities or fend for itself in any way?
Oh, that. To be honest, I don't know how it got here. It just showed up one day. I tried to shoo it out, and it just came back and barked at me.
See, tenacious. That is a good quality.
It doesn't harm me or the other animals. I don't even know how it feeds itself, but it seems to be a rather ominous looking creature, given all that I know about it.
Does it look ominous?
It's not a one-to-one comparison, but looking at it gives you similar vibes to the evil monkey from Family Guy.
Okay. This thing doesn't seem like it's, necessarily a friendly creature.
But look at it. It is so cute. How much is it?
I will part with it for 5 soul coins.
Well, that is pretty expensive, but if you throw in the teddy bear from that cage over there, I think we have a deal.
This is a terrible How about we take this thing off your hands?
I don't know. It is.
I mean, you said it walked into your shop. You couldn't get it to go away. It doesn't eat anything that you're aware of. So it costs you nothing to literally have it here. If anything, it was a nuisance. We can just take this off your hands so you don't have to worry about it.
It started as a nuisance, but it has grown to be a part of this place to some degree. And as you said, it doesn't use any resources, so even though it is here, it is somewhat of a conversation piece for those who do enter and look about the animals.
You see that, Solomon? You'd be depriving this man of his conversational starter base. Let's have a look around.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with the Beast Heart guide that Matt Colville released?
I am not.
I've not looked at it.
So it's basically got rules for animal companions. So some of the so it's got a bunch of, so any of the beasts here could be utilized as one of those kinds of companions.
Can I have that blacksmithing cat? That's what I want.
One of the creatures in here looks to be a mimic, and so it could mimic Heb Smythe.
Remembering those old episodes of Pokemon, and there was the one episode with the Ditto that was not very good at mimicking.
It always
So,
had
like-
a flat face.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and the mimic is actually interesting because while it's in its stall, anybody who walks by it, he takes their shape and kind of mirrors them as a mini version of. So it's like when you walk by, it's a little mini Ewan, and then when Solomon walks by, it's a little mini Solomon. Vegnog, it's a little mini Vegnog.
Yeah, but is it a mini Solomon holding, like, fireman carrying Lux? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it doesn't know what's you and what's not you. So it's just your entire form it takes.
well, this would be useful. This is entertainment.
I
How
like to think
much-
I look back at the koala, and the koala is looking right at me because it wants to come home with me.
How much for this one?
So that is a very rare creature. Not only is it a mimic, but it is one that has been trained, one that is accepting of being around people. That one I will consider 6 gold or 6 soul coins.
Very well. That is that is beyond our range for today.
And what is your range? Do you have anything else that you are willing to trade?
I've got some. Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I already said I ain't looking for another mouth to feed. So if you
That
want
makes the
something,
koala even more perfect.
I will say in the next stall
Sure.
over from the medic, there's this guy.
What is this thing?
Oh, that is a kind of myconoid type creature. I think that it is referred to as a sporling.
well, he's interesting.
Well, what can you tell us about Mike?
Well, he is somewhat, I suppose one might call him jolly. He is enthusiastic around people. And when he is frightened or threatened, he releases spores that have various effects on those around him.
Even us, presumably.
Potentially, but he is trained, much like all of the other creatures here. He will accept his master and ensure that his master is not in harm's way.
Solomon, I know you really want the pet, but can we get like a hypoallergenic pet? One that doesn't shed spores around the vehicle?
So Lux in your arms, Solomon, kind of makes a motion, and you hear her mutter, "Magic mushrooms."
Oh no. We probably should not get Mike. I don't think I could bear it if I woke up and Mother had consumed our pet.
Yeah.
I can't go through that again.
Again.
Prefer not to talk about it.
Sure. Sure.
So among the other creatures, there's an 8-legged lizard reptilian creature, as well as a young bullet, actually, is also in one of these stalls. And what appears to be is some kind of dragon wormling and a pile of rocks.
I like crouch down to like look between the cracks in the rocks. Is it like a snake hiding?
It's a pet rock.
What does it do?
At that, Ekimon whistles and the pile of rocks begin moving around until it's like a humanoid shape. And then starts kind of pacing the stall.
How big?
Pretty big.
Would it even fit on our vehicle?
It would, but it would take up a lot of room. Same thing with the bullet and the large 8-legged reptilian.
The bullet could just, like follow alongside us because that big ass fucking swarm of them caught up to us quick enough. So I'm sure he could outpace us easily. If
What kind of dragon wormling is it?
yeah, it's,
Ted Cooper, stop that. Hold on 1 second. I gotta throw this thing so Ted Cooper stops bugging me. Move.
I will also whisper to you in that we really can't like pet the rock guy. Not the ideal pet.
yeah, I mean, sure. That's an issue with it.
It looks to be a gold dragon wormling.
There's no way in hell we can afford that.
The dragon wormling is also 6 soul coins.
We might be able to afford that, but
I look back and forth between the two. The koala is way cuter.
yeah, but it's not a dragon.
That is true, but this is way cuter.
Yeah,
The
but
the dragon will take how long to grow to full size? We will be probably dead.
which
The
means you have
koala
a-
is full size already, probably. Although maybe it will grow. It will become an enormous bear, ready to rend our enemies.
think of it like this instead. The longer it's a baby, the longer it's a fucking baby. Yeah. Right?
I cannot deny that logic.
And like the cutesy little baby things, Well, he will just be one longer.
Again, though, a dragon, not that much fun to pet.
How would you know?
That is true. I have limited knowledge of petting dragons, but it's basically like petting a lizard. No offense, giant lizard. Whereas watch, and I'm gonna go back to the koala and just try to start petting the koala.
It starts barking at you. Have you guys heard what
I will
koalas sound like?
yell over the barking. See how relaxing? Sorry, what did you say?
Have you guys ever heard the sound a koala makes?
No,
Oh, it's
I was
interesting.
led to believe they were quiet.
They are far from quiet. I think this might be. Let me see. Why is it? I can't find it. Anyways, they sound not pleasant. Ecamon de Vidalis approaches you and says, "Have you made a decision, or have you determined items of trade that you would wish for consideration?"
I think we are still discussing which one to buy between the gold dragon and the koala. I think the
Yes,
smart
well,
money is on the koala.
I will say that the dragon is a bit unique. It is not strictly a gold dragon. And then he goes and commands the dragon, which then comes up onto his arm. Actually, he doesn't, because the dragon is actually fairly big. It's a medium-sized creature. So it walks over and it is relaxed for Ecamon to touch the dragon and reveals that its scales are actually hued with gold and blue. And he says, "This one has the traits of both blue and gold dragons."
That's pretty cool.
What are the traits of blue and gold dragons then? Can he fly? Do his wings work?
His wings do work. He can fly. Dragons are usually known in terms of the elemental energies they can produce.
Can the
Gold
koala fly?
dragons, it's perhaps, I have not seen it fly, but it is a mysterious creature.
So both can fly. That's a wash.
No, one is a confirmed flyer. One is got no apparent means of propulsion.
Agree to disagree.
How about we come back in the morning after hitting up the Seven Golden Seals restaurant and spa and had a full night's rest?
But I hate to admit it, but you may have a point. They may not allow our pet in the hotel.
Yes. Master Hawkins seems to be pretty accommodating, but sometimes there are hard walls. And I hate to purchase a new koala or dragon and have it sleep outside.
Well, I think that it is fair that we should take time to figure out which one of these we are getting. So
If we're
we should
getting one
come
at
back
all,
in
consider the
between
possibility
two,
of not
which
getting one at all.
one of the two we will get, either the koala or the gold dragon.
We have to consider not getting one as well. That is at least 50% of the possibility is not getting one.
Agree to disagree again.
we only have so many methods of we can only buy so much. We only have so much currency. And we need that currency to even move around.
That is a fair point. Sir, how much will you give me for this devil catcher? Store credit will do.
I will need to know what it does.
Well, you use it to immobilize targets, and if the targets are fiends, it is extra powerful at restraining them.
This actually may be useful in procuring new kinds of creatures to train. I would give you 3 soul coins for the device.
So there you go. We knocked 3 soul coins off the price already.
It's
A
something to
steal.
consider. Yes. Price of the koala? You said 5?
5 soul
It's
coins.
not worth
The
5.
other creatures in my pens are 6 soul coins.
Got it.
Well, it was
So
basically
the koala is on sale. How are we passing this up?
I think it would still be good if we wait and sleep on it and then make our decision in the morning.
Yeah, perhaps less about it being on sale and more about it being useless.
Useless. Look at it. It is so cute.
And that gets us what?
Fun and love and comfort. Just imagine you are curling up for the night to take a long rest, and this little face is curled up next to you. How can you pass it up?
Barking at us. Yeah.
I'm sure
No,
that's
thanks.
just a phase, and he will grow out of it in time.
No. Let's go rest.
So I will wait for everyone to walk to the door, and then I'll go up to Vidalis and say, I will talk him into it. Don't worry. We will be back in the morning.
Very well. I look forward to your return.
So then we'll head to the 7 golden seals. Which, since this is like a big place or like this is a well-known place, I'm sure we could either find it through signs or
Oh yeah. It's Kurt's description of the place as a circus is probably not that far off, because in the center of this whole thing is the largest structure, which probably does look like a big top, and it is quite easily largely labeled as the 7 golden seals.
Oh, we forgot to ask if they had a baby mishmash or whatever the creature's name is that we're standing on.
Bobby socks.
Yes.
So I think that that's a good place to end for the night.
Yeah, I need my mother to weigh in on my side to get the koala. She had a cat. She can no longer tell me no.
So